How many of you can genuinely say that you are happy with your life? How many of you can say, gosh, Kalen, I'm so lucky. I wake up every day and I am just thrilled to be me. I'm thrilled to be living in my world, doing my job, with my friends, with my partner, all that stuff. How many of you hear me say something like that and then say, Kalen, nobody feels that way. Everybody's struggling, everybody's hustling. This world is a grind. What if I tell you it doesn't have to be that way? What if I tell you that actually you can wake up every single day and say, gosh, how blessed am I? How lucky am I? I am so grateful for this life I have. That is what we call contentment. And I said something about contentment the other day, and a person replied, doesn't contentment just mean that you've given up, you've settled, that you're just living a life, you're like, it doesn't get any better than this, might as well just trudge along? No, you are entitled to having a fabulous life. Because you are someone very special. You are a shard of divinity made flesh. You're the one creating this dream. You are the dreamer experiencing itself. So you are able to live in any reality, any world that excites you, that fulfills you. So why would you settle for a world that is blah, that is mundane, that is tiresome, when you could be living a wonderful life? And contentment is such a rare gift. I think actually very few people have it. I think there's far more people who are rich, beautiful, fabulous, award-winning, have amazing careers than there are contented people. Because you watch social media, watch the news, those people who are winning all the awards and getting all that acclaim, they're not necessarily happy. In fact, a lot of them are downright miserable. So if success and acclaim and awards and celebrity, being a celebrity won't get it for you, then what will? Because if you ask me, and as somebody who used to be extremely discontent, would have pretty much chosen to be anybody but himself, contentedness is possible for each and every one of us. But it takes some work. It is possible though. And today, I'm going to teach you how to do it. So hey guys, my name is Kalen. I'm a spiritual guide and coach. I help people to live a better and more ecstatic life. So contentment. I look back at my younger years. I look back at when I was graduating college. I was a theater major. I wanted to be a professional actor. And I look at all of my audition pieces. And every single one of them was about escaping my life. I would have quite literally chosen to be anybody else. In fact, it's probably a big part of why I chose to be an actor, is so I could step into other people's minds, into their roles. I could, for a short period of time, get to escape from my reality. Because growing up, my life was pretty terrible. All my self-worth was ruined. I was told that I should just unalive myself several days a week. I was bullied relentlessly and told that I had no worth as a human being, no value. And I had come to believe it. So to flash forward however many years we are now, I'm 37, and to genuinely say, oh my God, I would choose my life over pretty much everyone else alive. That's a huge thing. And I say that not because I'm the smartest or the most talented or the most handsome or the most whatever. I'm not. I'm just really grateful for the life I have because it's really, really good. It's not about being the best. It's about genuinely being able to love where you are. And that's what I want to dive into today. So if you're struggling with contentment, if you're struggling to find the joy in being you, being where you are, loving your life, I've got some tools for you. So let's start with the one that needs to come first, but is often the hardest. You ready for it? Ready? Are you sure? It's learning to find comfort in your given circumstances. Now, many of us daydream ourselves out of our current reality, or we distract ourselves on our devices. We pull ourselves out of our given circumstances because we don't like them. And so we medicate, self-medicate often. We distract, we bury, we rage. We do these things to get us out of feeling stuck. But if you want to go somewhere else, if you want to create meaningful change in your life, the ironic thing is you have to start by accepting where you are. And for many people, that is terrifying. They don't want to sit with the discomfort. They don't want to be with the internal darkness, fear, discomfort. They'd rather just tune into their phone, to their podcast, to some video online. But if you want to find contentment, if you want to manifest a life that's amazing, and actually I just recently posted a video about why your ability to manifest is broken and how to fix it, so if you want to check it out, click right here. If you want to have an amazing life, it really starts with finding comfort with just being. I often tell people, you can't hate or shame yourself into lasting change. You have to love yourself into it. So what would it be like for you to actually just Stop striving, stop trying to do things, and just accept, just be here. This is why I start every day with meditation, just simply sitting in silence and being with whatever is. It's amazing what comes out of that. And when you're able to do that, when you're able to just slow down, get quiet, get still, and observe, it's amazing what reveals itself. It's amazing the wisdom that comes up. It's amazing the discoveries, and also eventually the appreciation. Because when we slow down and actually face our reality, we'll actually discover there's more to be grateful for and more to enjoy than maybe we were realizing. Another thing I notice and talk about is how people who seemingly have it all are often miserable. Yeah, they're rich, they're fabulous, they're wealthy, they're on TV, they're whatever, but you dig a little deeper and they're deeply discontented. They're very seldom satisfied. And so I often will reflect that it doesn't matter how fabulous you are, you can still find stuff to complain about. But then the opposite's also true. No matter what you're going through, no matter how difficult or meager your experience might be, there is also always something that you can be appreciating. And gratitude is, I think, the bedrock of a good spiritual life. Gratitude aligns us to a higher vibratory quality. It's something that I challenge myself to do, even when I'm in discomfort, especially when I'm in discomfort. Let's say, I pulled something, I injured myself in some way. I'll sit down and I try to feel gratitude in that space for what happened, even though it's a bummer, even though it messed up my plans, even though it's sometimes very painful. Because when I can manifest gratitude, then the energy changes. It becomes more buoyant, more expansive, more light-filled. If I stay in complaining, if I stay in regret, if I stay in bemoaning my fate, then I attract more of that constricted quality. Like attracts like. So if you can start to feel acceptance and the fluttering of contentment now, a little bit of gratitude now, then you're going to bring in more of it. Because whatever you're feeling, the inner world and the outer world reflect each other. You're manifesting this reality every day. Every thought, every action is creating a reality. So if you're starting to dwell in appreciation and gratitude, you're going to get more things in your life to feel grateful for. And even if you want to let go of the woo-woo spiritual side of things, just purely scientific, the brain is an amazing pattern recognition machine. If I told you, notice the color red today, you'd start noticing red cars, red hats, red coats, red gloves. But if I had never told you about the color red, you would have walked right past those things without ever seeing them. Same thing with gratitude. If you start noticing things to be grateful for, you program your brain to look for those things, you're going to start seeing more and more of them because it's a pattern recognition machine. Whatever we focus on becomes our life. So if you want to focus on a contented life, you got to focus on the things that are worth celebrating. And I don't care how hard life is, there is always something to appreciate. Even if it's something as simple as, I have air in my lungs today. I woke up. Not everybody got to wake up this morning. I've got food to eat today. Or maybe I have water to drink. Maybe that's the end of your gratitude list. That's still more than a lot of people have. So can you just slow down and be here? Why this is so critical, and this is really the nexus of finding contentment. This is the nut, the seed, the juicy part, the thing that ripens. It's important, okay? Why this is so critical is there's this term. It's called the arrival fallacy. Most of us tend to live our life thinking, if I just get blank, whatever your goal is, if I just get ripped, if I just get that promotion, if I just get that income level, if I just get that partner, then I will be allowed to be happy. And what we have found is that people work and work and work to get that thing, and then they get it, and it's hollow. It doesn't provide the lasting happiness they thought it would. It's like a papier-mâché approximation of the thing. And so they get this thing, they put in all of these months or years or decades of work, and they say, oh God, it's not fulfilling. What now? If this isn't going to make me happy, then whatever will. And worse, even if you do get that thing, and it does prove to be enjoyable, it still only lasts for a short while. Study after study shows that when somebody hits that high point, in a very short amount of time, they're back to baseline. So let's say you get that promotion, you start making twice the amount of your current salary. Whew. Within a few weeks, you'll stop appreciating it. It will just start to feel normal again, and you'll be exactly back to being where you were. The grass always is greener, but seldom is it once you actually start to pasture there. But the inverse of this is also true. If you're able to start cultivating gratitude and enjoyment of being where you are, then by the time you get to those things that you wanted to achieve, they're going to be more fulfilling because, hey, I was good there, I'll be good over here. It doesn't matter. And this is why contentment doesn't mean settling. Some people genuinely do think that if you're going to finally be content, you've got to give up on your dreams. No, go and work to fulfill your dreams. Just realize that that isn't where happiness lies. Happiness is always in here. It's an internal experience. And so go pursue what will bring you joy. Just don't expect it to be your heaven and earth. Don't expect it to be your totality. Find the things that make your life feel meaningful and enjoyable. And often it's the quiet things. The things that bring me lasting joy, my partner. He's an amazing man. And every day he makes me laugh and feel inspired and engage in deep, meaningful conversation and make me feel fulfilled and beautiful and playful. My animals bring me so much love and joy and care. Time out in nature, watching the sunset, reading a good book, having meaningful conversation with soulful individuals and spending time together. That's the stuff that really makes me happy long term. It's not the awards or the followers or the whatever. So choose the things that you pursue consciously. It's part of actually the big reason why I left acting as a young man. It's because I realized it would never make me happy. And I wanted to choose community. I wanted to choose meaningful interactions. I wanted to choose things of substance because I thought that would bring me more lasting happiness than some role on some movie or TV show. So everything we just discussed is a big part of it. But then the other thing is to make sure that as you work towards cultivating the contented life you want, that you don't try too hard. Because again, force comes into play. Rather than making a big effort, instead, what's like one small thing you can do to make your life better today? Just a small thing. Maybe it's going for a little bit of a walk instead of taking your car. Maybe it's cooking one meal at home this week. Maybe it's calling up that friend you haven't heard from in a while. What's like one little thing you can do? And as you build that up into a habit and then layer on another little thing and another little thing over time, over months and years, gradually you'll start to see your life shifting because you're approaching it with ease. And little by little, you're building something fabulous. A lot of people seek rapid change right away. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see a big difference. But oftentimes if something comes that quickly, it also goes that quickly. Whereas the stuff that we build up brick by brick, in my opinion and my experience, tends to be a little bit more lasting. Another aspect that comes in with contentment is something that my father used to say to me when I was a young kid. I hated it. I hated when he would tell me this, but it's so true. Stop comparing yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. I know that I'm my happiest when I'm just doing my work. I'm doing what makes me feel good, what brings me joy, and I'm not paying too close attention to what other people are doing. Imagine a professional swimmer. You got to pay attention to what's going on in your lane. If you're focusing on there, you're not swimming. This is why I don't engage too much in social networking events. I don't go to those sort of things. I don't know who else is doing spiritual YouTube and comparing myself to them because I realize it just makes me feel miserable. And I know we live in a culture that stresses the importance of competition, that competition makes us stronger. It can, but it can also make you feel discouraged. I prefer collaboration. I prefer supportive challenging rather than competition. I prefer seeing us working holistically together rather than competing against each other. So don't compare yourself. One of the things that made a huge difference in my life is everybody I follow on Instagram, 85% of them are animal or nature videos. That's just the accounts that only post nature content. Follow some people that I know in real life, but apart from that, that's it. Because I know that I feel a lot better watching a video of a hedgehog than I do of some super ripped guy that makes me feel like I'm not good enough. So how can you just declutter your social media, your life, what you consume to just the things that make you feel joyful? And again, going back to those simple things, some of my favorite Instagram accounts to follow are the ones that talk about like cozy living. Those who talk about appreciating the rainstorm, nestled up in a sweater, lighting a candle, reading a book, sitting in a window. Because when I feel that energy, when I feel that kind of vibe, my whole body relaxes. I feel better. Because contentment exists here. It really doesn't ever exist someplace elsewhere. So how do you find that life that makes you just have that cozy sort of vibe that makes you go, oh, I sigh, I relax, and I enjoy what's here? So I think if you do these things, if you learn to accept where you are and cultivate gratitude for it, if you start to do small meaningful tasks, if you get rid of distractions, and then the last thing is really just feeling what contentment is in your bones, like really just summoning that feeling like, oh, if I were truly contented, what would that feel like? Not just think about it, but really feel it. And you can start to live in that feeling. Then it will start to occur more and more in your life. Because as I said at the beginning of this video, you are deserving of a fabulous life. You are deserving having a magical reality where you wake up every day and say, God, I'm so lucky. I am so blessed beyond measure. And not just you, but all of us, every person, every sentient being is deserving of joy, dignity, respect, love. This world can be so much more than it is right now. We are capable of creating heaven on earth if we choose to. We're also capable of manifesting hell on earth if we choose to. It's really all about where you put your focus and your energy. And as somebody who used to live in very much a hell realm on this planet, I know it's true, but I also know you can find your way out. And there are people and tools and resources to help you on that journey. So do the work. Find a contented life, because if you're able to dwell in contentment, you'll have achieved something very rare and precious on this planet. Few are able to say they have it. And you will feel blessed, because the truth is you are. You are blessed. And it's time you recognize it. I'd love to hear in the comments, what are the things you're grateful for? How have you been finding contentment in your life? What are the things you're appreciating? This is a journey for all of us. I'm also on my journey. I'm still figuring it out. And it's an honor to have these conversations with you. If you like doing this kind of work, I suggest maybe checking out my books or subscribing to this YouTube channel. Hit the like button if it's meaningful. I also have a Patreon where we go deeper. On Patreon, we're going to be hosting sacred meditation spaces the first and third Thursday of every month. And these are open only to people who subscribe on Patreon, to my one-on-one clients, and to people who've been on retreats with me. And it's a space for us to really manifest that higher vibrational energy and hold it together. So we marinate in it and we bring that into our life, that more heavenly quality, manifesting it here in our daily existence. So if you want to join me, head over there, sign up on Patreon. And if you ever need more direct support, please don't hesitate to reach out. I do offer free consultation calls, and I'm more than happy to assist you on your journey. And I want to thank you. Thank you for taking the time to engage. If you made it this far into the video, you're a rare gem. Few people will have made it all the way to the end. And if you're still listening, thank you for doing the work. Thank you for making this world a little bit better, because when you work on yourself, when you work to improve and declutter your internal life, you raise your vibration, you become more luminous, then the world around you starts to shift. You don't need to change other people. If you just improve yourself, reality around you will start to change. People around you will feel it, and they'll be bettered by it. So keep doing your work to become the most luminous, most ecstatic version of you. Sending you so much peace and blessings. Thank you for your time, heart, and energy. Namaste. I'm Kalen.